it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I know 7:30 at night is probably not the best time to start this video, but I just really want to start reading this book and I don't want to miss out on documenting the experience. I'm going to be reading Rebel by Beverly Jenkins. She is a Black author and this is the first book in the Women Who Dare series. I have heard nothing but wonderful things about this author and I'm just really excited about diving into some historical romance. I picked this up earlier this month and got me these roses for Valentine's Day, my birthday, and I just love them so much. There's also here with a reading update. I made it almost to the 100-page mark and it has definitely picked up. I would say the first 30 pages were a little slow, like just setting up the story, and then the main hero and heroine meet and he like saves her, like him and his sister save her from some like bad men doing bad things. And then, I mean, she's just having a bad day. So then he kind of rescues her from that and then she goes about her merry way and they go about their merry way. And then she gets to where she's rooming and her landlord kicks her out because like, I guess it was like 2 landlords and like one died and the other just like kicked her out. And she's like, holy crap, like what do I do? She ends up finding the place where, because he left her like the place where him and his sister were going, which is like his brother's hotel. And so she made her way there and now like I don't know, it's just, it's already like so much better and he's already like attracted to her and she's already attracted to him and I'm just like OMG. So yeah, so I'm on page 91, so almost the 100-page mark and I'm enjoying it so far. Guys, this book is really good. It's definitely outside my comfort zone. I've been watching a lot of historical romance readers videos lately about the terminology and the different like time periods and stuff like that. One person I've been watching is Samantha and I think her channel is like Reading with Samantha. Anyway, the 2 videos that I am referencing I will leave in the description box of this video just in case you are new to historical romance as well. She also gives recommendations for books that fit the different eras and I think I'm gonna like listen to some of those recommendations because I definitely think like Regency is a more popular time period and she says that like a lot of historical romance is written during that time. This one takes place pretty much right after the Civil War and it's just, I mean, can you just imagine like historical romance for Black people? Like it's such a tough time. They get blamed for stuff that they didn't do just because of the color of their skin and I don't know, it's like hard to read about, but also the romance between these 2 right here is like undeniable even though like nothing's happened other than a kiss. The main character, the teacher character, the heroine, is actually betrothed to someone else that is in New York right now and is coming down to Louisiana, New Orleans where she is, and then she's supposed to move back with him, but she's really liking her life in New Orleans and she's thinking she wants to stay put. But I also think that it's more of a marriage of like convenience than like love and she really wants to be with this guy because she's like feeling things. So I don't know, I really just want them to end up together, but at the same time like I just want her to let the other guy know, but it's not like she can just like call him up or like send him a letter. Like things take time back in the day. And yeah, so I actually am this far into it and I have my phone wedged in the middle because I saw that it was available on Hoopla, which is an app connected to my library. So I thought for the rest, I mean, I guess it's less than 50%. I don't know, you be the judge. I have this much more to go. I'm going to listen to it on audiobook. I just found my space where I am, so that's why I put my phone there. So after I start reading again, I'll know right where. Another thing is that these are all mass market paperbacks And I hate mass market paperbacks because the spine cracks so much and so easily, but I guess that's just to show that it's like mine and it's well loved and all of that. So I don't know. That has nothing to do with it being historical romance, but yeah, so important topics, difficult scenes, stuff like that. The writing is great. It's not like reading a classic at all. It's more just like straight and to the point, and it's just like things happening during these time periods, which I have read books that I didn't think were going to be like classically written, but they were. And I mean, I don't know why I thought I was gonna have trouble reading this, but that's definitely not the case. It's very simple. It's just like any other book, very easy to read. It's just the time period that it's set during. I mean, obviously that makes sense, and that probably sounds so dumb coming out of my mouth, but here we are. So yes, I took a nap. I made it to 324, so I'm seriously about to sit down and finish the last few pages. And I feel like I don't know what I'm gonna rate this because I've never read a historical romance before. And I like the story, but there's a lot of historical stuff thrown in that I don't like. And it's not that I don't like the writing, I just don't like what's happening. And obviously we're talking about Black people right after the Civil War. Of course there's going to be things in here I don't like, but like that's the point, Gwen. And I'm having a hard time separating not liking the treatment and like the time period, like obviously, you know. And there are like, and I don't know, like, are those things trigger warnings? Do people realize that if you read a book like this, you're gonna read about Black people not being treated right, brown people not being treated right, and them getting not fair treatment, them getting kidnapped, killed, you know, all of the things. And I don't know, I just don't think I was prepared for this. And the romance in here is such a small part of the actual story. So you have this family, I forget their name, it's like 𝒔𝒂𝒗𝒆 or something like that. Valinda is the main character heroine, and Drake is our hero. Here it is, 𝒒𝒑. So maybe you can see that right there. That is like the family name for like the hero's family. And I love his family. He has brothers and of course his mom, and his mom, I like love her. The brothers and just like their banter and their support of one another. And I love how Valinda, I think they just call her mostly Val in here. So Val is very like strong, independent. She's so selfless. Even though that she is supposed to be engaged to be married, like her father matched her with this guy and they've been friends like since childhood. Like she doesn't want to marry him because it's like not for love, and she wants to stay in New Orleans and like teach people, and like I love that. But there's a lot of, you know, other turmoil because of the time period, and it's really hard to read about. As promised, I finished reading Rebel by Beverly Jenkins, and this was really hard to read, you guys. It's my first historical romance, and while I really did like the romance side of things, and I really did like the characters, and I loved the 𝒑𝒏𝒄 family, I did not like the time period and the things that were happening to black and brown skinned people during that time. Not only that, but just women in general were like, I don't know, not treated nicely, fairly, well at all. And combined with the heroine being black and female, like, it was just a lot. But this is the first one I've ever read, but in the author's note, I found out that in her other series, Winds of the Storms, or Winds of Storm, I think that followed his brother Raymond and Sable. It just said, since Winds of Storm, my readers have begged for another visit to the house of 𝒑𝒏𝒄. So I'm hoping you enjoyed meeting Drake and Valinda and looking in on Raymond and Sable and the rest of the family. That is the thing that stood out to me, besides just like the steaminess, because like Valinda is not very familiar with bed games, and yeah, it got really steamy sometimes, and I really enjoyed that. And I just really like how he cared for her in a way that like nobody else in her life has ever cared for her before. Loved the family and their dynamics, and just like how they supported one another, and like, I don't know, like it just was so realistic and so heartwarming. And yeah, but a lot of like not good stuff happened in here too, you know, so I don't know. And the last chapter was really more of an epilogue than it was like a last chapter, because it kind of flashed ahead. It says, as spring merged into summer, and I really liked that as well, like getting to see like where things went. But I think it summed it up really good. This is on the last page, but it says, let's see. She was proud of the life she carved out for herself. She dared to come to Louisiana alone, then dared to help the freedmen and believe she could start a school. But the best one, daring herself to accept Drake's love. So yeah, so those were the main themes. It was like her being in Louisiana by herself, gets kicked out of her place to live, so she has to like start over. But then like how she's just like fiercely independent at the same time, like, and it had like feminist themes woven in, which was great, especially for like the time period. But it was hard for me as a reader to balance the heaviness of the time period with the romance and the story. So for that reason, I'm gonna rate it 3 out of 5 stars, which I still think is a really good rating. And I definitely want to pick up more historical romance. I almost want to continue in this series and see like what happens. And I do maybe want to pick up that other one that's Sable and Raymond's like series, because like they are a really adorable couple, and like he treats her so well, and like, oh, I just loved it. But like I said, the heaviness of the times, so it's definitely not something I could see myself like binging or anything like that. So was it a success? I would say kind of. I'm definitely not like, oh my gosh, I hate historical romance. I just hate the things that was happening in that time period, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that wraps up this reading vlog of reading my first ever historical romance. It was a ride, you guys. So let me know what you thought down in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite book or series is by Beverly Jenkins, because I definitely do want to pick up more of her books in the future. I think I'm gonna have to order them though, because my local bookstores don't really have any. Like, this was literally the only book that they had. So let me know what I should do. Should I continue in this series? Should I go back and read Raymond and Sable's and then continue in this series? Should I look for something outside of this time period? That's kind of what I'm leaning towards as well. Don't forget, check the description box for links to Samantha's videos that I was referencing earlier in the video, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!